Yum, yum. Okay, let's get started. It's going to be a short, sweet, simple one. I got to go really quick. I was going to do it later, but I thought, no, I'm going to get on. I'm going to do something really quick for you guys because I have a very busy day today. And just so you know, health is critical. Try to fix my hair here. They're crazy. Health is important. My iron is, I think the people who followed me forever, I've talked about my iron in the past, and it's not so hot. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. And so who knows if I have to go to the hospital and get an emergency infusion? Possible, but that is life. And here's the deal. When I do get my infusion, I feel 100 times better because I have a bunch of energy. So when my energy's low and I apologize, it's because my iron. Okay, so we'll blame it on the iron. It's all your fault, iron. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to read a little bit. Don't take anything personal. Now, I can tell you right now, this is an important one. This is a hard one. And this is something that we go through daily. Taking things personal. Okay, so I'm going to read this piece. Whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. If they tell you how wonderful you are, good morning, Sally, they're not saying that because of you. You know you are wonderful. It is not necessary to believe other people who tell you that you are wonderful. Don't take anything personally. If someone got a gun and shot you in the head, it's nothing personal, even at that extreme. Now here's the big deal. Okay, I like that he put something at that extremity in the book, because people would say, what do you mean don't take that personal? That's terrible. That's okay. With the work that we do, okay, this is the work of an alchemist. We look at every event as an event, and to drop into the neutrality of that event is very complex. It's not easy because we are so attached. In order for us to drop into the neutral, we have to understand that life is an illusion. We cannot do it other than that. Otherwise, we're attached to, like, this is right, that is wrong. Now, people will say, well, don't you think that's wrong if somebody did something that extreme? Yeah, I mean, based on my morals and goals, and good morning, Lisa, and my principles and the way that I live life, yeah, absolutely. However, if I looked at it as a neutral event and I was able to stand in neutrality, how could I engage this from a place of love? When we drop ourselves into neutral, we're able to make a choice. When we don't drop into neutrality, we allow our emotions and all of our past historical stories to choose for us. Now, is it good? Does it serve you? Now, if something traumatic happens in your life, it may serve you to be upset and go through the emotions. Good morning, Naveen, Bien. And that's good. That's okay. Go through those emotions. Go through that event. Allow yourself to be there. But can you drop into neutral and then engage it from a different perspective, like forgiveness, compassion, and love? Because those events are a lot harder to do. But when we drop into the neutrality of the event, we're able to see that event from a space of neutral. Not easy. Easier said than done. Okay. And when you start to look at your life and you start to look at events that happen, right, you want to take it personally. For each event that happens, you're like, I'm going to stay attached to this event. This person did this to me. I'm upset. They're rude. Okay. Really, what this is saying is no, they're not rude. In fact, whatever's going on with them is their stuff. For you to take it personally is to simply say what they have to say and what they have to do. I'm going to wear what they're telling me as though it's my truth. You're allowing that poison, you're allowing that energy to penetrate your energy field, and you're taking it on as yours. Hey, cousin. Hey, Tony. Okay. Um, so Tony, I know that we have issues. Now my not sugars, my iron levels are low again, so I might have to get another infusion. Who knows? He may not have me do it because they're not super low, but there you go. So again, to wear those things as though they are ours, okay? And don't take it personally. Now, it really is a hard one. And yes, the first one that they say is hard, but I think the second one's harder when we're in an environment where we're dealing with the energy of our coworkers, of our family, or the energy of so many different people wherever we live. If we live in a busy city, it's hard to process those emotions to get to the core root of who we are so that we don't take it personally. So, what I would say is that when you do take something personally, it's an opportunity for you to look at yourself. It's an opportunity for you to look in the mirror, recognize who you are, understand, is that me? And dig a little deeper. So when you get these feedbacks or when things happen to you and you start to create a story around it, like let's just say, for instance, you have a continual fight with a person in your family. Okay. And it doesn't matter what you do. Maybe it's a sibling. Okay. We're just going to say sibling. And no matter what you do with this sibling, you guys cannot see eye to eye. And for some reason, they trigger you, they tell you something, you take it personally every single time, and you start to spiral into believing that. What you're doing is taking on that poison, but it really what it is it's an opportunity for you to look at yourself. It's an opportunity to peel back the layers of the onion. It's an opportunity for you to see yourself in the mirror and say, okay, am I that person? Why am I taking that personally? Is this who I really am? And if the answer is no, then you have to ask yourself, well, then why? Why am I continuing to take that personally? I know it's not me. Do I have to prove something to this person? Do I have the need to look right or be right and look good? What is it? Is it my ego's fighting to say I'm good, or the pride, or whatever it is, right? You get to look at that. That's an opportunity for self-awareness. It's not easy, but it's important. So take a time out, okay? So today, because this is going to be, like I said, super fast, probably maybe one of the fastest ones I've done, maybe not. Take time out for yourself. Take a pause and ask yourself in any situation and reflect, is this an opportunity for me to be self-aware? Is this an opportunity for me to look at my reflection in the mirror? Is this an opportunity for me to dig a little bit deeper into why this is bothering me? Now, at the approach of, okay, when we start to shift our mind and we're like, okay, I'm going to approach this from a different perspective, sometimes we get to take personal responsibility for the behaviors, right? And the way that we've interacted with a certain thing. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, 25017 at 5. I don't know what that is. Um, but it's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity for us. And then we can ask ourselves a bunch of questions. But take the pause, take the time out and ask yourself, why is this bothering me so damn much? Why? For what? No one's going to do it for you. If somebody in your family or a loved one or your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your children or your parents or whatever it is, friends, coworkers, I don't know, whatever relationships you have with people, they keep triggering you, and you're like, I just don't know what it is. Okay, there's it's an opportunity for you to be self-aware. Everything is an opportunity for you to be self-aware. Take a time out, ask yourself powerful questions, and when you re-engage it, come from a place of personal responsibility. Sometimes that means apologizing or forgiving. And that's both on both spectrums, right? Like, I'm sorry. Or here's what was coming up for me. This is why, in our household, I'll tell you, this is how it works. Okay. And I'm going to just give you an example from this morning. We all wake up, everything's going on, and then I can feel energy. I sense people's energy very quickly, right? There's body language, there's cues, there's eye contact, there's behavior. I watch, I observe everything. And so I said, okay, one of the household members, which is my niece, which I talk about quite often, I said, what's going on? You okay? How did you sleep? Because I could feel the energy wasn't like, yay! Not that she has to be excited about life. I'm just curious, what's going on? Well, I didn't sleep very well, and it made me kind of grouchy. She's able to process her emotion, and she's able to talk about her emotion quickly. She's able to communicate that. She's able to articulate what's going on. So that's what's important. And then here, we don't get upset or mad at people for having their feelings. It's like, I'm not feeling good. I'm grouchy. Okay, go ahead and be grouchy. When you're done, if it's not serving you, what do you get to be? But why? What is so it's another opportunity to be self-aware. So sometimes it's like, I'm sorry, I was grouchy. It wasn't you. I was going through this. And sometimes it's that ability for you to be self aware in the moment. Like what you said, I took personally. And here's why I took it personally, because I don't think I'm enough. I don't think I'm worthy. When you come to somebody with that information, it changes the way that they speak to you because they're expecting you to fight back. Most people will expect for you to fight back. If they're arguing with you, if they and I've talked about this before, if they come to you with a situation and they're yelling at you, they want you to put fire into the fire. But you cannot if you fuel the fire with fire, you're never going to calm the flame. So I've literally seen this happen in front of my eyes. I've had people unfriend me because of this, because then I've gotten in fights with people while they've yelled at me and I've just stood quiet and let them continue talking. I'm like, go ahead, say what you got to say. They say it to the point where they start to hear themselves and then they don't know what else to say. And for me, I just put myself in neutral. I'm like, this is not my stuff. Whatever you're going through is not my stuff. I love you. I will support you through it. But I'm not going to wear it as though it's mine. If you tell me that I'm this way, I know I'm not that way. If you're experiencing me this way, then I can apologize and say, I'm sorry, right? So it's looking at how you approach each situation to diffuse an issue is to allow yourself to drop into neutrality. Okay. That is what they're talking about in the four agreements, dropping into neutral, not taking it personally, allowing yourself to listen, to observe your behavior in any situation. So if you're with somebody and you're fighting with them, rather than wanting to attack back, step back, listen, observe, don't say anything, allow yourself to go through the emotional process. And then when you engage with your speech, come from a place of personal responsibility, which would be like, look, when you said this, I was upset, not because of what you said, but because I don't think I'm enough. And all that did was trigger for me what happened to me when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. And I'm starting to believe that. But you know what? I know that that's not true. So whatever you said, um, I'm sorry if you're upset. I apologize if I did anything to you, but the reality is this is how it made me feel. And right now, I don't want to be around that energy because I know that I'm worthy and I'm working on me. Whatever it is, that is a different conversation than someone saying you're an asshole and then you call them an asshole right back. Because all that's going to do is add what? Logs to the fire. It's going to add fire to fire, and it's not going to resolve or dissolve anything. Okay. Okay, so there you go. That is what we're talking about today, or that's what we've talked about today, or I've talked about. Who's we? Me and my higher self. Okay. Today. So go out there and ask yourself, if you're taking things personally, why you're wearing that as the truth, and can you stand in neutral, be self-aware, take a time out, pause, and ask yourself, how can I re-engage this from a place of personal responsibility and personal power? And how can I articulate what's happening to me with being authentic and vulnerable? Because that's what it takes in order to communicate that real, is vulnerability and authenticity. Okay, awesome. So have a fantastic day. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. And wish me luck with my iron, because my iron is all jacked up. That I don't have to get an infusion. And if I do, I will be doing, if it's during a spirit and coffee time, guess what? I will be doing my live at the hospital because I don't ever not do these things. You guys matter too much to me. Okay, so I love you guys. Have a fantastical day. I will be seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah, 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 mwah. Make sure you have your nice cup of coffee. I used my espresso machine today. Woo woo! Yay, yay. Okay. And I love you guys, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye bye.